first you need what, Ali?
So you start now?
No, yes. You go start from the beginning.
Yes, yes, okay. Good. Okay, at first we turn on the light.
Mm-hmm.
On this one.
Okay.
Then there is mug.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this mug is available?
Yeah, so it's here. From Walmart you can buy it.
Okay, good. This is what you have to tell. And then,
Here, weigh the mug.
and then it tear it, no?
Yeah, we weigh it. We make it 0.
Yeah.
Then we add, based on dependent whatever you want, based on the chip and based on the size of your master mold. We add the PDMS with the curing agent. Again, based on your PDMS, based on your chip structure, it is different. For example, for this structure, polymer PA chip, we use it 10:1, but for other chip, we use it 5:1 or 15:1. It's different, and it is also written in
Based on what?
based on the manuscript that they mentioned. Anything. Based on literature, you have to find
based on the literature.
Yeah, based on literature, you have to find the best combination.
The combination
for your
of
chip.
the PDMS and the
Curing agent.
cross-linking or curing agent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Each chip is different. It's not the same for all the chip. But for this chip, we use it 10.
And then how you determine the amount you are going to add?
It depends on the size. Based on the size of the your chip, then you will add it to the structure.
For example, Ali, this size. How you determine this size to take this much? For example, this is a size, no? For example.
Yeah. For example, for these two. For these two, we added 15 gram of the PDMS.
Okay, so that's my question. How you decided these two?
This is based on the experiment. Okay, I understand.
Yeah.
So there is a calculation. You can calculate based on the
area,
the height of your chip. Because, for example, mostly we needed 5 millimeter height. Based, for example, for 5 millimeter height and the area of the surface of the chip that you want to cover, you can add the PDMS. But normally we will understand based on the experiment.
I have to show you something, good-looking picture sometime.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now we add it.
So you are now adding what?
PDMS. Yeah, when we add the PDMS, just be careful that nothing.
So how you add it goes directly at the bottom?
Yeah, goes to the bottom of the mod.
So Ali, you said that based on that area of the chip, you determine height and area.
The height of the chip that you want to make, and the area of the chip, and the area of the surface of your master mold.
But then how is this convert to weight? How?
I told this calculation, you can calculate.
So do you have the calculation? Where is that calculation?
Yeah, this is also based on each chip. This is very, it's available everywhere.
Available?
Yeah,
okay.
Just you search in the internet. Okay. For example, now I put it 42 gram of the, you can show the class and
yes, 42 gram of
42
PDMS.
gram of the PDMS. So for this chip, we use it 10:1.
It is for, you are making for pH.
For pH, yes. For this one, we will add 4.2 gram of the curing agent.
Okay. 4 point.
Now it's a little bit more, but it doesn't matter.
That's okay. Yeah, okay.
More curing agent is fine, less is not good. Okay. Then by completely clean glass rod, it should be completely clean and particle free. So we clean it at first. We make it particle free in the air. And then we mix.
So you always clean and then what is called?
Use the air to
remove all the particles. Okay.
Then we try to mix. Normally, based on the weight, for example, for 40 gram, it's around 3 minutes to complete to mix.
You just start with the.
Yeah, but the thing that you should pay attention is, the color of the PDMS. As you can see now, still it is transparent and still you can see this color.
Okay.
It's not white, but we should reach to the white color for the mixture of PDMS and curing agent.
White means transparent. This.
No, this is not transparent now. But when we reach to the white,
So now it is opaque. Okay, Ali, okay, you have big hands. I don't see the.
Yeah, just give me some seconds. Then I will show you.
Austin, you have written down everything?
Yes.
Okay.
This mixing, there is automated machine also.
Really?
That the work is only to mix, nothing else.
And okay, so this thing we have to find out. Now, do you know what is the
Yeah,
price?
the price is around $4,000-5,000.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it doesn't work because it's just
Because we
mixing.
don't do large scale manufacturing.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But for larger scale, they have machine. They just its role is just mixing.
Okay, good.
But normally, this mixing, it depends on the hand also. For example, for my hand, based on my experience, I found it, for example, 2 minutes, 3 minutes for this thing. If you do it, for example, lower like this, you need more time to mix.
Okay, so if you depending on the speed of the
Yeah, exactly.
stirring.
If you do it like this, surely the time
So,
is less.
is it possible that Ali, when you are mixing this speed, that the glass, the cup breaks?
No, this is not glass. This is just plastic.
Plastic. Okay.
Okay. Now you can see the difference of the color.
Okay.
You see, it is completely white, opaque,
Yeah, completely white, opaque. Yeah.
and when you can see from this side,
Just a minute. I don't see that. Okay. Inside. You
from
mean?
here, yes, from here, you can see the liquid containing soft air.
Yeah,
bubble.
it's a liquid. It contains entrap.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, the physics law now involved in this one is the just surface tension between the gas and liquid.
Mhm.
So for this reason, to remove all the bubble, we use the vacuum.
Okay.
The timing of the vacuum, it depends on 3 factors. First one is the pump force. It's written in the pump that how much force we have. The pump has.
So just a minute. So you are using this is a desiccator, in fact.
This is the desiccator, but now since we attach to the pump, it
Can I
works
see
as a
how
vacuum.
you attach? You just put the cap on the top of the.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing else. Okay.
Okay.
So 3 things is important. For the timing of the vacuum, to know how much does it take until all the air gone.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing is the force of the pump. The
Mhm.
second thing is the amount that you add from the
Amount of
the PDMS and the-
PDMS and the curing agent.
more. When you add more, so more time you needed to remove all the air. And the third one is the for those mixing, how much air goes inside of the
During
your
the
mixture.
mixing. Okay.
During the mixing.
I see.
And also another thing, we need completely air-free liquid. This is another important thing. It means the air, there is formula for this thing also. When you add to the formula, the amount of the
Why
gas.
this formula is there? Ali?
In all the book they mention this
Okay,
formula.
okay,
It's
okay.
every book it's available. So you just put the amount of the gas inside. You should put it 0 as a amount of the gas inside for the final gas, because there is first gas.
So when you say it is amount of gas, that means amount the
amount
entrapped
remaining gas, yeah.
entrapped air.
Entrapped air, yes.
Okay.
It should be 0.
Okay.
So then we started for this one.
Can I see how you okay?
It
Can I
is-
see that?
In this approach, it is open,
No, Ali, let's see. Okay.
This is open now?
This is open. Okay. Yeah.
and then when we want to close, we close it like this,
Okay. Good. So you
and
put
then
then and okay.
we turn on the pump.
Can I see that?
It's here.
I'll go out. So this is a switch.
This is just a switch, yes. This
Okay,
one?
just a minute. Okay, yeah. Okay,
This one,
yeah.
I turn on.
Okay.
Now we should wait until all the air gone. I think that's now we can stop.
Okay, so this is the this pump is connected to
Desiccator.
desiccator. Where is those connection coils are there?
It's from here, it goes this connection from here, it goes to the inside, and from here it goes to the
Let's see.
this one. These two.
So this is the one. This is the one is coming inside the desiccator.
Yes.
Okay, I can pause it now.
Yes.
Yeah. So sometime you just during the process you just open this knob.
Just open the knob to remove the air and then close. But try not to do too much.
Try not to do
Yeah.
too much. Okay.
It's better not to remove the air frequently because it affects on the mixture of PDMS and curing agent, and it cure during the vacuum. So that's for this reason. It's better not to add more than 40 gram in each cup in this size, because
Can you potentially put more than 2 cups there?
yeah, you can put it 4 cups simultaneously.
Okay, so
But you shouldn't put more
you
than
mean you should not overfill the cup
you shouldn't add more than 40 gram of the PDMS to each cup
in a cup. Okay.
in a cup, because if you put it more than 40 gram, then you see now it creates foam. When it make a foam, this foam goes above the cup and it is still on the
Okay, and okay. In
vacuum.
case of when the situation you have that you have to make as much as four cup. Yeah, if you, for example,
when
if you're
you-
in multiple.
Yeah, for example, multiple, or for the first time when you want to make the whole PDMS, at least around 70 gram, 60 gram you need. For this
Okay.
60 gram, normally I put it 230 gram. I mean 30 gram to 2 cup, and then I put it there. So that,
Okay, then you pour one after another.
yeah, exactly. And the other important thing about the pump, that we have this issue, so everyone should be very cautious about this point.
Mm-hmm.
If you put it more than around half an hour, more than half an hour,
Okay.
the cup or whatever it is for the remove the air inside the vacuum, and you started the pump, this tube will collapse.
Collapse. Okay.
And after collapsing this tube, it affects the pump, and after that the pump doesn't work. So for this reason, everyone should be careful of this thing, that before when they use the pump,
For more than
they shouldn't use more than half an hour or 45 minutes the pump. And after that, they have to turn off the pump. And again, after, for example, so after 1 hour, again they use it again.
so you just do not leave like.
Yeah, do not leave it. Okay, for example, leave it, go eat lunch, and then come back. This is not.
So once I think Behnaz or someone did that.
Yeah, yeah.
So then you change the.
Then we change the.
It is
tube
okay
and-
to say the accidents happen, so that it is no, we are not blaming something.
Yeah, but
It
this is just be very
So
careful.
then it collapses. Then we have to buy new.
No, the new pump we should buy it then, because
New
if it
pump,
collapse,
okay.
if it collapse, the air cannot. What is inside the air is inside, right? The pump
So I-
suck the air, and
so
that's the reason it creates the
Once
vacuum.
he told me that Behnaz left it open, and then how did you fix this?
No, then I saw that okay, this tube now you see. Hassan, can you zoom in?
Yeah.
This tube now it is open. You see, it is like a hole.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not
yeah.
closed. But when the tube doesn't work, this jam completely. The
Oh,
tube
okay, this
completely
just
jam.
collapses,
Yeah,
okay.
collapse completely. So it means then when it collapse, nothing, no air goes inside the pump. When no air goes inside the pump, there is system inside the pump. It's jam again
Oh,
inside
okay.
the pump, and the pump then doesn't work. So for this reason, do not use at all any this pump more than 45 minutes, and
45 minutes.
do not leave anything inside and go outside,
Go
do
and
whatever
leave
you want, and
out.
then come back. This is totally wrong, and nobody should do this thing. We should, whenever something in the vacuum, you have to be there, you have to be inside, because you don't know what's going on. Maybe the pump has stopped, maybe the vacuum had some issue,
So-
maybe the amount that you put in the cup, it's spilled to
So
the.
in other words, never leave this pump thing unattended.
Exactly.
You just stay here.
Exactly. Whoever, or ask someone else to come and just watch it. but do
Okay.
not leave it. Okay, put it here, go and do whatever you want, and then come back. This
So-
is totally wrong.
Totally wrong, because what is the price of this pump?
It's around 10 to 12k the price of the pump.
So then they have to pay for it.
Yeah. That's true. And this tube also you can find it in Lowe's.
In Lowe's.
Yeah,
okay.
in Lowe's those tube you can find it. You should go. I try to find the tube that has like those tube. This is the better tube that I can use.
Okay.
Those tube has some metal thing inside.
Those tube, okay.
Yeah,
Oh, I see.
and it's prevent the jamming. But the
Okay.
problem is those tube only sell by this pump.
For this pump?
Yeah, for
Okay,
this
but
pump.
this pump,
But unfortunately, I called the company. I even Amazon everywhere I search it. But those tube, it's not available in this size for this pump. That's the reason we couldn't find
okay,
it.
I see.
Yeah.
Good. Are you done with that?
No, just still.
So here we see some bubbles, no?
Yeah, still. And like I said, you can see, if you see from this side, you can see two layers.
Two layer, one is that.
One is the completely go a little bit up the top. Can you put on?
Oh, just now.
You see now, this part, as you can see, one part is transparent liquid down,
Yeah.
and this
Another
part is the
that
foam.
has bubbles.
All should be like this. And the rule is that gamma S plus gamma L minus gamma LS. It means gamma L plus gamma G minus gamma LG. It means this is the rule of in this situation. This is the formula that used here. This
do you mean
gamma
by
L is the
gamma S?
surface tension of the PDMS. That one is the surface tension of the gas, and gamma LG is the surface tension of the mixture of those two.
Oh, okay. This is thought
In the yeah, this
in
is the same.
DDS.
This is the
no?
same.
Oh, okay.
This phenomena
So
happens.
the DDS is helping like this. Okay, so this thing is that it is showing two layer. One.
Zoom out.
Okay, this is how this doesn't do much. Okay.
You can see here as well.
Yeah, this is
Okay.
Okay.
Photo mask is here.
Mm-hmm.
We put the photo mask based on the dates that they arrive. For
Based on
example,
the date, okay.
yeah. For example, this photo mask is the first photo mask that arrived, and this one is the last photo mask that arrived.
Okay.
So do not change the, orientation of those things, because otherwise we couldn't understand which one is which.
Okay,
And
so this
when
is the photo mask.
Yeah,
you
and-
receive from the company. What is called the
CAD
company?
art company. When
CAD
you
art.
when you receive a photo mask, three things you should mention.
Is there
The
written
name-
where the company name, Ali?
No. The name of the name of the people that receive, and the structure of the photo mask, and the date that you receive. These three
So
things.
you're saying that this should be labeled with the person who ordered this?
The person who did everything, who ordered, draw, or whatever it
Okay,
is,
yeah.
the structure in the photo mask, what
Okay.
is the structure in the photo mask, and the dates that you received.
And this received by, you said, the company?
CAD art.
CAD Art.
Yes.
CAD.
ART.
ART, okay. And then, okay.
And we put the PDMS, everything here. This is the
These are the store.
PDMS and curing gauge. Yeah, this is the store.
Mm-hmm. And then,
And we put the all prepared photo mask. We put it here.
prepare a photo mask. Okay, tell me about this. Well, so many photo masks are there. Why you are not using? And is this all are bad, or you want to?
No, none of them is working.
So really? So
Just
you can,
keep it.
so you can potentially throw out all those?
Yeah, but normally we did not throw out anything. We just keep it. So for learning, we showed them, okay, this is the problem with the photo mask. It should not be like in the master mold. It should not be like this. It should be in this way. When we, for example, when we are teaching to the some percent, we showed that, okay, this is the this is the fault in the master mold
Oh,
preparation.
these
It
are
should-
okay. Okay, and then another desk. What do you have?
And then nothing. This is just.
For supplies.
Yes.
For the okay. And so that's it.
Yeah.
Can you explain to me this Ali? What is this?
Yeah, this is microscope. We use it for two purposes. One purpose to see when we punch the chip. Tomorrow again we will show, because it is 2 days work. So tomorrow I will show you this one. When we punch the chip, to make sure that all the punch are aligned and they are in the center of each channel. So we use this microscope, as well as when we prepare the master mold, to see all the
Silicon
structure is completely accurate and sharp, and everything is is going well, again we use this microscope for these two reasons now.
You can also see the silicon wafer in
Yes.
this? Yeah, okay.
Yes. And also we can take a video by this one. For taking video, we have the camera. We have the camera, and then I will show you when I prepare the master mold. I will use this thing, and I will show you how to use the camera for this one. And this is very easy. Just you turn on the microscope, turn on the light. The light is coming, and then you can see.
Okay, Ali, I will post this thing in YouTube. So maybe you may be
No,
you may be then what is called microfluidic sensation.
No, please do not. You don't need this.
Why? So everybody going to call you.
No, thank you.
You don't want that?
No.
No, Ali, this happens. So you just check now?
No. It's done. Just 1 second. I wear gloves. Next student, do not do it without gloves.
So
Just
this part, why you put gloves now? You should have started glass earlier.
No, but at first I had gloves, but after that I removed it.
So only thing that if I put in the YouTube, they will say, okay, the teacher did not have a gloves and he did not put lab coat on.
Yeah, that's what that's do not. So now the case I show this part. So you see it's completely now bubble free,
Oh, I see.
all transparent.
This all transparent.
Yeah,
I
there is
see
no
that
bubble.
although it is not showing very good, when you take it out, I can see that.
You
No?
should do it from.
No, it is not showing because you know that this is a glass barrier. So when you take it out, I'll zoom it, and then. So if you are saying that the PDMS and plus curing as a mixture is now completely free from bubbles.
But the point is, again, I will emphasize on this point. I emphasize on this point is they should not keep PDMS with curing agent more in the vacuum, because
Should not be, for example, do you have any idea?
yeah, when
As soon as the bubble is over,
exactly,
it should be.
that's the reason nobody should leave it and go and then come back. This is totally wrong. Whenever it's bubble free, immediately you have to pour in the those master mold.
Okay.
Otherwise, those PDMS and curing, because you see I remove the pressure and close it. This affecting the PDMS, and PDMS change to semi-solid inside the
It
vacuum.
has to be.
So that's the reason you should not keep it too much time, the PDMS with the curing inside the vacuum.
Oh, that's a very important tool. Have you written this thing, Ashwin? Okay. So to start the materials we need the PDMS,
PDMS and curing.
curing agent.
Yeah.
Curing agent is in fact cross-linking agent. Is this
Yes.
true?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Now Ali is taking out the.
Yeah. Now we remove it. For removing again, be careful when
Be
you
careful.
open the air.
This has to be
this-
in open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This should not be. Be careful. It's not.
Doesn't
everything-
fall in
yeah,
the-
fall everything. As you can see here, it's completely transparent.
Okay, yes, this one.
And
Now it is completely transparent.
transparent. Now
Okay.
immediately you should do it fast, this part. So as you can see here, you have to control on spilling. So when you add, be careful that there is nothing, no particle here.
Okay, so no, that should be absolutely free from particle.
Free particle. And then
So-
just,
Ali is now adding that.
add not in the center, just in a whole area, because if you add only in the center, it cannot
Okay.
spread completely. So again, this is my chip. we
This
don't-
is okay. Okay, if Ali, if you had not used your chip, only for example, Oshin had used this 4, then she had to reduce the PDMS.
Yeah, only 15 grams is enough.
15 grams is enough.
Yes. when you do this part, you shouldn't talk even. This is also important because when you talk, the particle goes inside, which is not good at all for the chip during the chip preparation.
Okay.
Do not talk to the family. Do not listen to the music during this work. Just pay attention to your work.
So and so when you put this PDMS, and then what you determine the height of this, how much it
The
covers?
height depends by experience. You will understand. But this one for the PAA chip, we need 5 millimeter height. So that's the reason we put it this much around. Around 10 millimeters, so that the half of them, it means 5 millimeter. We fill it normally to make sure that. So if your chip
Is this 5 millimeter? You said what?
yeah, 5 mil. We put it the whole area, it's around 10 millimeter, so that when we fill half of them, it's in around 5
Okay, I
millimeter
see.
height. So the other important point is, we need a chip which the height is balanced between thick and thin. What does it mean? If the height is too much thick, we cannot see under the microscope because it is thick. If it is too much thin, you
Then
cannot
deal with this.
You cannot handle it because
Yeah.
we need it to attach, for example, to the other PDMS or cover sleeve or something like that. You cannot handle it. So for this reason, you have to balance this thing, and I highly suggest that calculate the height that you need it. For example, if you needed 5 millimeters, and how you can understand the height based on the literature, you can find it. For example, other people which height they use.
You are saying height of the chip.
Height of the chip. And then you should optimize your height. For example, if the people mention that 3 millimeter height, for the first time that you run you use the chip, you use 1 millimeter, 3 millimeter, 5 millimeter, 10 millimeter, and see which one you can use it. And after that, you optimize based on your situation, based on your
So
material.
this height you control by using that, because you put the master mold inside a PDMS slab.
PDMS inside the master mold.
No, you see this master mold.
We put the
you
PDMS in the
PDMS
on top of the master mold.
on the top of the master
Yeah.
mold, and this is how you know that what is the height of the PDMS.
Yeah,
totally
exactly.
put.
And as you can see here, Dr. Hassan, can you zoom in, please? As you can see here, there is, during adding, there is some bubble create.
Okay.
Two things is important. If you add very slowly, the bubble create more. So that's the reason you should do it fast. The second important thing, you should not keep this one outside too much time. For two reasons. The first reason is, if you keep it outside, again, the PDMS and Q reagent make a semi-solid PDMS, which is not good for your chip. And the other thing is, again, more bubble goes inside. For this reason, again, immediately after pouring, you close the lids.
Close the lids.
And by this approach, you put all together.
Oh, sorry. I didn't get
Whatever you
and then
have.
Again you put in the.
Again, you put it in the.
So so this means you cover them with that lid, and then
you put it
again
inside.
you put the.
Inside the vacuum to remove all the bubble from the chip. So again, you should pay attention to this point also, that the first point, that you should not put too much time this PDMS with the chip inside the vacuum. Otherwise, instead of curing with heat, it cured with the pressure, which is not good. Which it makes a semi-solid. It means some part of the solidation happening during this time, and some part of the solidification happening in the oven, which is not good.
So this
for
is
the chip.
usually how long you take keep here?
For again, the timing, it depends on the area of the chip, but normally for those chips it takes 10 to 15 minutes to remove all the bubble.
Okay, Ali, you put those petri dishes, those chips in, and you cover this with another dish. So how it is removing the air, although because they are covered?
No, it doesn't matter. You can see now.
Okay.
Now you can see the bubble comes out. At first there is no bubble, but you can see the cover in the edge. You can see those bubbles.
Oh, I see.
Because like I say, it's not completely tight. I mean, there is
there is
air.
here.
It's not completely tight.
So although I'm not seeing that my
but you can see by your
yeah,
eyes.
I can see in the eye that yes, there are some bubbles
Just you
around
wait. Yeah, just if you wait, it will cover the whole chip, all the
Yeah,
bubbles.
so,
You can
yeah.
see now. Just wait.
Oh, okay, I see when you put this thing, although my naked eye, when you are putting this it doesn't show the bubble.
Yeah.
After you show the put
After
there,
the vacuum it starts.
it shows the
Yeah,
bubbles.
even now, if you just wait the whole surface, now you can see still there is some
Yeah, I see that.
part that there is no bubble there, but after some time all the surface covered with the bubble. It means the bubble from bottom it goes up.
Yeah, I see that. I see that. So this is about a 15-minute thing.
10 to 15 minutes, yes.
So I can pause it now.
Yes.
Yeah, just.
Start there. Okay, so as you can see here now, there is no bubble on the surface that has a structure, because our concern is the structure should be bubble free. You can see there is some bubble around the chip, on the edge of the chip. You cannot avoid, if you keep it, for example, for 2 hours, 3 hours, all those bubbles on the edge also will go. But the problem is when you keep it 2 hours here, it's already cross-link and everything gone. I mean, I mean, you cannot use it, because when you put it in the oven, it's already, some part is already cross-linked. So that's the reason it's not good. So when
this, Ali, after when you put those chips inside after PDMS, how long usually? You said 15 minutes?
10 to 15 minutes.
10 to 15
but
minutes.
this one based on the area that now we have.
But
If
also you have to keep watching that if this bubble is gone.
Yeah,
or
this 10 to 15 minutes after adding the PDMS to the master mold depends on 2 conditions. The first condition is how fast you add. If you add very slowly, it means when you add slowly, air goes in with the solution. Air also goes inside, which is not good. So it creates bubble. For this reason, and also it depends on the area of the chip. These 2 parameters is important for this 10 to 15 minutes. But now, based on this area and based on the speed that I add, it's
you
around
say area of the chip.
area of the chip, your master mold that you want to
master
cover.
mold area, okay.
So based on the speed that I add, it is around 10 to 15 minutes. But normally when they started, they add very slower than my speed. So for this reason, they should keep it more. And the problem
you're
is,
saying when you add faster the PDMS cross-link mixture on the top of master mold, then it will have less entrap here.
yes. Because if you put it slowly, it means the air goes inside gradually also. Whatever you add, air also goes
Okay,
inside.
good. Yeah, okay.
This is the point. So when you finish, you reach this point, you just remove all the
Also turn off the.
turn off the pump, remove this thing.
So can I now focus on? So what you are saying that there are on the edges there might be some.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter for us.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then you remove your chip. Be careful when you want to take your master mold. You put both hands like this and then take it. Do not take it by one hand like this, because when you do it it tilts. When it tilts, some of the because it is a still solution.
So there will be the thickness will vary.
Yeah, exactly. So for this reason, just be careful. And then when you come here, okay, this is 65 degrees centigrade oven. So
it is always set like 65
we
degrees.
set it this one in the 65 and that one in the 85. There is because we need 2 temperature for all of our current chips. We need 2 temperature for the master mold to cross link. For this reason, we use.
So how you set this temperature over there in that knob?
Yeah, you will do it by this one.
Okay, so
but
and
since
so nobody is supposed to change this.
Yeah,
setting.
that's the thing that I want to say. Do not change the position of the oven, as well as do not change anything here, because if you change a little, it affects. Although I put one thermometer here to always check the temperature of this one to make
Inside
sure
temperature.
to make sure that it's 65. But if you change it, it take time to back to the previous temperature.
Okay.
So you put those cap on the here. Why? Because when we put the master mold, containing PDMS in this. If you put it on the shelf only, it's not completely balanced, and since it's not completely balanced, it's not completely straight. So it has a little tilt, and this tilt affects on the thickness of the your chip. So you remove the cap.
You remove the cover, okay. Can I see Ali how it is? Okay. Okay, so can I take this one? So this has to be They have to use 3.
Yeah, two things is important here. Do not talk at all when you remove the cap, because if you talk, the air goes inside the chip and the
Okay.
chip has bubble. So the other thing, you should do very fast this part, because if you
Close
keep it,
them.
if you keep it, you do it slowly, you put it there, again goes air goes inside. We should avoid any air goes inside this thing. Okay.
Okay.
So now again I will open it.
Okay. Can you say what you're trying to say? That as soon as you open, okay, as soon as you remove the cap,
Yeah.
you should put in the
Yes. And do not
also
talk
you-
even.
even you should not talk.
Yeah.
Because the bubbles
And particle.
particles may get inside.
Yes.
The, okay. So now in this here, how long we are going to keep?
For the PA chip, we keep it for 2 hours, but for other chip it's different. For example, for the CEC chip, we keep it for 4 to 6 hours. For the RV chip, it's different.
So after 2 hours, what are we going to do?
After 2 hours, we just remove from the oven, put it inside
Put it inside over there.
Yeah, inside the hood, and after that we keep it overnight until it's completely cooled down. And tomorrow we will come to cut the chip and make the chip.
Okay. So again, so after 2 hours, now it is, for example, 11:15. You will come at 1:15
Yes.
and take this out, and you are going to put them over there.
Yes.
Okay. Now, can you explain what this heating or oven is doing to the chip?
Yeah, that curing agent, they cross-link the PDMS by the heat.
Mhm.
They activate it by the heat.
Okay.
So for this reason, we put it on the oven. This oven did in high temperature affect on the curing agent. They cross-link and make the solution. They change it to the solid. It causes
Okay. So
solidification.
because of the curing agent.
Yes.
Okay. And this curing agent is called the only curing agent, or you?
Yeah, we call it curing.
Okay. So these are heat activated curing.
Yes.
Okay. Can you explain what is curing?
Curing agent?
Curing is the solidification. In other words,
Yeah, no. Curing agent is the any
this
agent.
is cross-linking agent.
Yeah, any agent that helps to a material to cross-link together, they call it curing agent. Some curing agent activated by the UV, some curing agent activated by the heat. For example, this curing agent specifically, they activated by heat. It means they make a molecule by the heat. The structure of the curing agent change in a way that cover the whole area of the PDMS and make the PDMS as a solution. They change it to a solid. It means they decrease the space between the PDMS.
In our case, we always use heat activated.
Yeah, for the chip we use heat activated.
Heat
always.
activated. Okay, so we'll come at. We don't have to come. We
Yeah.
just have to
Yeah.
put there, no?
Yeah.
And then it's just when you put there, this needs to be closed.
Yeah, then we should close everything, turn off like this. We just do it as we do right now.
Okay.
So after, just be careful after whenever you finish, you should clean everything.
Okay.
Because everything should come back to the same thing. You see now it's everything clean.
Okay.
So we close it, we turn off, and then done.
And then it will be inside.
It should be inside, yes.
Okay. For overnight.
Overnight, yes.
What is why you are?
Because
can you
if
explain?
if it is hot and you start to cutting, the master mold will break.
So that means this is one kind of curing too, no? First you did heat. And
No. This is just because we don't want to the master mold break. So for this reason, we need to be the master mold completely cold. If it is. a little
Oh,
bit of the
okay.
master
If you
mold-
try to, but in reality, it is the chip is ready.
Yeah, chip is ready, but if you try to cut, the master mold will break.
Because
of
it
the
is
temperature.
hardly attached to the.
Yeah. No,
Attached
because
to
when
the.
the silicone wafer is hot,
Mhm.
they tend to break faster.
So only purpose of this is
Prevent the breakage of the master mold.
to prevent the. It is not related to hydrophobicity
No,
or.
no, not.
But last time you said there are.
No, that one is the another step.
What?
That one is after punching and attaching. This is another step.
Okay. Good.
So easy
Yeah, I
with
see.
all
Yeah,
the
I
steps.
see that.
They can understand it.
The
Before and
surface,
after.
although when you add the
Then you add by nectar, you
by,
did not
by
see
in,
any
in,
bubble.
naked eye doesn't show any. When you
Yeah,
put in
but
the
vacuum, then you see.
vacuum, it shows that bubble is
And if
there
you,
and stuff.
without putting here, if you put it directly in the oven, your chip is, you cannot
Okay,
work with
Ali,
it
can
at
you
all.
explain what is going to happen if bubble remains inside the chip?
Yeah, if bubble remain inside the chip, when you add any solution, anything, because this bubble finally needs to go out. And when you prepare the PDMS, it's not completely solid. It is kind of semi-solid, and it's not very hard stuff, hard material. So for this reason, those bubbles attach to the surface of your cover slip, and then when you add the solution or whatever it is, the solution did not pass to the channel. For this reason, that your chip should be completely bubble free.
So that means there should not be any entrapped air.
Exactly, entrapped.